Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this video and its accompanying detailed blog are all about the new moon of the 19th of May 2023. It's a very powerful new moon. It's so powerful. So be grounded, be brave, be magical, and succeed. This full moon is actually conjunct the terrible energy star Algol, and it's accompanied by a grand cross. But we can use its power, if we understand it, to achieve a lot. So this new moon is sun and moon together at 4 degrees, grounded Vedic Taurus. That's using the sidereal zodiac. In the tropical zodiac of Western Astrology, it's 28 degrees Taurus. Now, calm, forceful empowerment needs to be at the centre of the lunation time that will be ongoing from the time of this new moon. It's within cutting Kritika Nakshatra, using the wonderfully accurate and powerfully declarative 27-sign lunar zodiac of Vedic astrology, and that adds to the cutting nature of what you'll experience. And it's conjunct the fixed star Algol, which is huge and can be seen as a terrible, frightening energy when it's activated, until you understand it. The most terrible energy star in the skies, and I speak at quite length about the energy of Algol a bit later on. And this new moon is associated with a huge grand cross that fills the chart. One axis of the cross is the nodal axis, north node opposite south node, where indeed north node Rahu in Vedic astrology is at 8 degrees Aries, conjunct Jupiter, opposition south node at 8 degrees Libra. And at 90 degrees to this nodal axis, creating the awesome, powerful grand cross, is the formidable Pluto opposition Mars. Pluto in Capricorn, Mars in Cancer. Now a grand cross can pull us in 4 different directions, and powerfully so. But we can stand in the middle, as it were. We can combine all the force energies and power, and use the force and power that is inherent at this time to achieve our ethical needed goal, or achieve our needed death and rebirth, and break out of any imprisoning scripts, patterns and definitions that we might have created for ourselves. If you can ride the energies of this new moon in the ways suggested later on in this video and blog, you'll arrive at a state that will bring positive changes, so that the confusion of the past few months will give way to some clear and decisive steps forward. Gains will then rise. Your work will then do well. Your romantic relationship will get to a new level. Now you can see the chart for this new moon in my May 2023 page of my Star Wheel Astrology website. It comes under the heading More and then Monthly Astrology Charts. So now let's look at this new moon's energies and how best to deal with them in some more detail. Let's each of us look now at the energy mix we're going to be living in, and then let each of us look at how best to work with the energy of this new moon for achieving our best path forward this future. Okay, so let's look at the first three factors concerning the energy of this new moon. 1. The energy of the nodal axis is actually about things that are destined, especially, of course, if you have natal planets in Vedic Aries or Vedic Libra. 2. At right angles to this, the energy of Pluto opposition Mars is power and force, pressure and force. Negatively, this is bullying. So we each need to learn how to contain and ride and properly embody the pressure. We each have to learn how to use the immense force and power offered in a way that brings us each more into our ethical power. And it might well have to do with some fated or destined or karmic dimension or facet of our life and part of our life purpose at this time. But, however, thirdly, this new moon is all about being grounded in the middle of all this because it's in Taurus. So at the same time of this lunation, we do best to ensure that we keep grounded from moment to moment, as we have to live and function and relate amid tense and pressured energies. But we also have to learn how to embrace the force and pressure so as to achieve our needed goals in a grounded way and in an equanimous way that guards our love. These will be goals that we need at the upcoming time to carefully define for ourselves. These could well be goals that might include redefining ourselves. These will be goals that might include getting out of some stuck situation that we're horribly in, habitually in, maybe even addictively in. But there's even more to this new moon of May the 19th than this. And to understand the fullness of the challenge and of the gift, we next step need to look at the star Algol, which is conjunct this new moon. So let's look at the fourth factor, Algol. This new moon is conjunct the dreadful fixed star Algol. Algol produces the worst disaster situations on the earth of any stars when it's activated. Now, the Greek myth about the energy of star Algol says a lot. Basically, this star was Medusa, the one-time priestess of Athene, who was blamed for desecrating the energies of Athene's temple. Medusa was just too passionate, too forceful. So Athene turned her into a monster with coiling snakes for her hair. And the thing was that anyone who looked at Medusa died. Later on, Medusa was then slain by the hero Perseus. But Perseus had to use a mirror to look in while he was using his sword as a weapon to cut off Medusa's head. Because if he looked at her, he would die. And the point is that after Medusa's death, both Athena and Perseus used Medusa's head as a weapon. They held it up and carried it in front of them. And any enemy who looked at it would die. So the nub of it is that this wise and ancient myth means that you will have to face energies that are quite a challenge as this lunation unfolds. You might well be called upon to be brave and resourceful as the lunation unfolds. But also realise that Medusa, with her snakes as hair, is serpent energy. And serpent energy is about each of us being magical. It's about death and rebirth and shedding skins. So this is a time when each of us must be bold, must embrace challenge, must get out of the usual imprisoning box, must in some way die to the old you, the old me, and embrace the needed new you, new me. And this might well involve dying to some old crap patterns that we live by. Key statement. This might involve bringing in new, creative, magical, braver behaviour patterns for the way we go about living our life going forward. So remember, we have to be grounded. We may well be called upon to be brave. We may well be called upon to be magical. And if we do these things, we will succeed. Now, I'd like to end with a few important brief footnotes. Fifth factor to be aware of is Jupiter. Jupiter is conjunct Rahu North Node, and Jupiter is square Pluto. Huge. So be open to the insights offered by Jupiter Guru energy. Be open to the expansion offered by Jupiter Guru energy. But also, please be careful not to be too driven, not too over-expansive, beyond what is manageable and right. And a sixth point, this new moon combines with Neptune, Pluto and Mars to give each of us talent openings. Be on the lookout for your talent openings. Seventhly, Mars is square Jupiter in this amazing full moon. Use the energy of an initiative of Mars and Jupiter, but be aware not to let it get too massive or overrunning. And the final footnote, Saturn is at 12 Aquarius. Saturn is moving slower and slower and slower and slower to turn retrograde at 13 degrees Aquarius on the 17th of June. Saturn will thus be demanding that you tie up loose ends in what you're doing in your life. And on a deeper level than that, Saturn will, as he always does, be insisting that we each respond to the demands of our presently active and running karmas. If you don't, you'll feel suffering and pressure. But when we listen for and understand and integrate Saturn's demands on us, Saturn's message for us, we will each feel right and thus content. Saturn is the most huge force. We feel great suffering if we get his messages wrong. But if we can listen to his messages, he is our friend. So to get a reading from me, go to my Star Wheel Astrology website and also check out our brand new Love Star Dating website, the international website for those on a spiritual pathway who are seeking love. And do subscribe to the blog and the video. So I hope this will prove helpful for you. All success. Thank you.